You guys are facing Winnipeg for the third time this season. You're coming off back-to-back losses, heading into a bye week. Does this feel like maybe one of the most important meetings against them, just in terms of like turning that, what's the word, juju around?
Definitely, yeah. It being the last game of the series for us, we came out really good playing against them the first one. Second one was kind of rough. But this next one, we've been working really hard this whole week, especially I can speak for the D-line. We've been working on our pass rush moves, really getting to the quarterback, really tackling the running back. So we're looking to make a really big impact this weekend.
You have done a good job of slowing Brady Oliveira down. What have you learned about him during these first two games?
I learned about him that, when you get off a tackle or get off a block and you go to tackle him, you got to bring the heat because, he's not that easy to bring down. He's a bigger dude, so we just got to make sure that we bring the heat against them and put pressure against pressure because we're going to have to put it against them if we want to stop them.
How are you guys feeling about your defense? I mean, you still lead the league in allowing the least amount of touchdowns this season. The last game, first half was a little rough, but it seemed like you really bounced back in that second half.
Oh, yeah, there's always going to be problems, throughout a football season for every football team. And, you just got to find a way to get through those problems through the next practice. If you have a bad game, those next three practices are extremely important. And we've focused on that this week. A lot of the mistakes that we made last week, we got rid of this week. So now we're just ready to go. It's almost game time, so now it's just polishing up the last little bits that we have, and we're ready to go.
And I wonder about penalties, because it was sort of uncharacteristic of you guys the last two games to take as many as you did. Was that addressed at all in practice, or how do you address that?
It definitely was addressed. We told ourselves no football team can win when you get too many penalties, right? There's just too much yards lost in the game. So we really worked on that this week. We worked on being just playing with our hands the correct way, making sure we're not pulling nobody down, making sure we're not jumping on nobody, just a lot of things that we can fix from the last week, especially on special teams. So, I think special teams this week, they're super excited and super ready to go, and I think we're going to be really clean this week on terms of penalties as well.